Welcome back to Dr. Schneider unboxing Warhammer. And this time, we've got Tech Priest Grombrindal, the White Dwarf. Let's open it up. Trying to get this on camera better this time. Not quite. There we go. So this is the limited edition for 5 days between Christmas and New Year's. And you have to go in store to get it. It's available for like one more day from the time that this is being streamed. And you cannot order this. You have to go in the store to get it. So I went out before work and got one, just so I could open it for you guys. It's really tough to open, apparently. It does have a tray. Put that aside. So here we have the instructions. Most of it is just your supplies in different languages. Seems his body is mostly 3 pieces. And at the bottom there's the Black Gobbo, his arch nemesis. And they go on this 50mm base. It's actually quite simple. Pop this fucker out. So we have the big base, and just get my hand around it. And we have all the parts. Actually, there's not that many. I know that his beard tentacle gets its own part, though. I don't hold that over the lit keyboard. Get this lit keyboard out of here. Yeah, Mario pants. So, what we want is part 3 and 4, which are these two. This one's a little bit of a bugger. All the rest weren't. Part 4, and this will be part 3. Hopefully I'm making a good show of it. Trying to keep it a good angle for both me actually snipping it and those watching. Alright. I'm just going to clean up those snips. Doesn't take much. So the sprue is very nice. Does not at all give me any problems whatsoever. This one had 5 connections, I think. We also have Prince Fadil in the house tonight. He may or may not be offering commentary.
Hello.
Since Durf keeps going AFK, Hadil's co-starring. As a result of Hadil co-starring, we're going to have a bonus unboxing this video.
Yeet.
It's like a sprue connection right in the beard.
Oh.
Alright. So then the parts go together like this. Yes, so on the inside, there's some pins that line up. So these holes and these pins go together, and then they hide the line along here. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that. And good old Citadel glue takes the applicator right out every time. And potentially clogs it. Give it a quick clean, just the tip. Perhaps the problem's on the other side.
There's so much tree.
So sometimes the glue will plug up one of the ends. Usually you can pick it out with a hobby knife. If not, you have to burn it out with fire. Which may be the case here. Try and clear it out one more time. Live on camera, because that's how we do. Just using the very tip of the knife to get into the hole, and then I'm twisting it to dig it out. I just need a little hole for a little glue. Well, we'll use our backup. Gorilla Glue. Any kind of super glue will do. You don't really want to be using super glue that much on plastic models, but you just forced my hand. I do have a brush applicator on this one. So we can, at the very least, put it where we want it. You just have to make very sure that it is indeed where you want it when you're using super glue. Because the super glue is not forgiving at all. So we're going to hold it tightly in the correct position for a few seconds. That's going to give us a nice seal. And luckily, we didn't swap any super glue outside, because it will leave a nasty mark. You have to be ever so careful. So now, we get to put the other part of the body on. I'm going to hold this up to the light. It looks like that part of the axe is meant to be attached. So, this part down here is attached to the robe, and if you look really closely at the detail, it looks like it's supposed to be that way. So you need to cut it here, here, but not here, and down here, very carefully around the beard and the rest of his hair. So let's get on that. I want to do the delicate cuts first. And the reason is, if you save them to last, the model could move on the sprue and snap it off before you've released it. That looks like it's pretty clean. So it's going to take our hobby knife now, gently clean it up, especially on the servo arm beard. It's a very important detail for one. I'm just going to put that wafer into the back of the black gobbo's head, who's now become a servitor. And we do not want that to get messed up. Axe cleaned up very nicely. Just a little tickle down there. Smooth out the bottom a bit, so that when we're gluing it down, it sits in nicely. So this part has 2 holes here. It's got 2 rods here. And it clips in just like that, which gives us our tech priest. I need to adjust the hair ever so slightly. I'm actually going to do it while I'm dry fitting, so I get the angle just right. Excellent. So to glue, I need to put it on several surfaces. Once again, with our super glue, we don't want to get too much super glue on the brush. We have to work quickly because the super glue inside the tub is drying out as we're applying it with the brush. So we gotta work fast to get the cap back on. While we're putting the cap on, the super glue on the model is drying.
I'm back.
So, working quickly, you can get the model together. Welcome back, Durf. Then we'll apply pressure until the glue sets.
I'm going to finish up my thing, but defer vocal commentary to you.
Alright. Now, we do have one more detail for the tech priest. That is his beard tentacle. Just 2 cuts. We'll do this one here, and then this one here. We save the one on the bottom for last, because it's the easiest one to fix if it were to snap. Just gently tidy it up. Has to be as smooth as possible, so that when we paint it, you can't see where we cut it out of the sprue. So far I haven't had to reach for the file, but I do have them if we need them. So this one will go here at this angle. So we're going to grab our super glue, and just a reminder, we would rather use plastic glue, but mine's not being cooperative right now, and I don't want to leave the stream to burn it off.
To be fair, I don't think anybody would complain about that, Burley.
No, but there's ashes everywhere, and it's kind of annoying.
I mean, hell, you could dip it in the volcano my character's currently going through. That would do it.
Really would. Let's grab some tweezers, push it down so that our skin doesn't stick to the super glue. Make sure it's nicely seated.
Quick comment. The person you're hearing in the background is Dr. Schneider. He's currently assembling a limited edition model from the Warhammer series, so definitely go check it out. Once in a lifetime.
Right, and that is Tech Priest Grombrindal. He does share a base with the Black Gobbo, so let's put that together now. So the Black Gobbo comes just two parts, a body and a head. So we'll cut out the arm first, and the next shoulder, then his hand, and his foot last, and this one doesn't matter so much, because it's hidden when he's on the base. His head, we will cut the door, and then the chin. Something to note is that there's actually detail inside. His brain has been scooped out and replaced with a computer. So, once Grombrindal puts that data wafer in, he'll actually become functional.
That decision, but hindsight.
What is that in the background?
Me trying to pull up your stream.
Spooky.
Ooh.
As before,
You have ads.
we will just clean up all the places that we cut from the sprue.
I'm going to pull up your stream full screen, and then I'll OBS it until you get finished, and then I'll go back to what I'm doing, because I actually hit a pretty important point in Assassin's Creed, I think.
And he's hungry, so he's eating.
Alright. Clean up the latch on the door. Be very careful not to actually cut the latch off the door when you're working on the Gobbo's head. And a little bit in this cheek. Now I can stick the head onto the body. Once again, brushing off the excess glue. Just working it carefully into the area we're gluing. Do not need much. Then, his neck does have a handy slot on it to help guide it to the correct angle.
Damn it, that's not going to work.
We'll apply pressure till the glue sets. And there is the Black Gobbo. Put them on the base. I'm going to stick them on like this. We'll dry fit them first, to make sure that we get the correct distance between them. We also don't want the axe hanging off the edge. And we want the gobbo to be out like this. So one last time, I'm going to grab our glue. Just going to carefully glue the entire rim of Grombrindal. Okay, being careful not to splash glue onto the visible parts. Might need just a little bit more. because it is curved inwards.
Once again, what you're streaming, or what you're seeing is Dr. Schneider's stream of a limited time Warhammer figure being assembled. Feel free to check it out on his channel if you're enjoying the content.
And Black Gobbo. His feet are flat, so just put a little dab there, right in the middle. And get him on that base. If you put a dab of glue on and then kind of slide them around a bit to spread it, gives you a nice thin coat, which will allow the glue to dry smoother and quicker. I have a few seconds to adjust positioning. So bring him inwards a little bit, then push his feet down with the tweezers. It's just an easy way to apply pressure to small surfaces.
Also, have a subscription, Gabo.
Alright. Now I just need to wait for them to set. But that is our limited edition Tech Priest.
Hell yeah, looks awesome.
Now I did promise a bonus because we had Prince Hadil in chat.
Hey!
So
What do you got for us, assembler of the Warhammer?
we have a Primaris Apothecary, which I got Hadil for Christmas.
Yee!
Let's take the plastic off and get a better look at it. This one I'm definitely going to need the plastic glue for, so I'm going to have to take a short intermission and handle that. So on the back, we have our light color palette. We have the Reductor bolt pistol and the Absolver bolt pistol. Not sure which we're going to be using yet. We have the Progonoid gland here. We have the Chirurgeon's tools here. And we have the option of helmet or no helmet. There's also the poor unfortunate Ultramarine down at the bottom. So this one is not going to be as scenic, and will probably have more parts than the models we have in unboxing. No special edition here, just standard. So here's our instruction booklet. Just leaf through that. It does come in a tray. Quite a few more steps here. Leg assembly, torso assembly, semi-scenic base. Shoulder pads are separate. And there is a transfer sheet. And here's your stats. Let's pop this out of the screw. We have number 1, number 2, a base, and transfer sheet.
I also reset up my tags and stuff to help feature you, brother. I got you.
Splendid. So, we have to make a choice before we build it. An Apothecary is a single model armed with an Absolver bolt pistol a reductor pistol, a frag grenade, and a crack grenade. But you can only model the one pistol in its hand, I think. Yes. So we have to choose which pistol we want to be holding. But it has both.
Okay.
Which one looks the more interesting? Yes.
So, this is the reductor here. The green and the red canister on the bottom.
Okay.
And here's the absolver, which is more of a hand cannon.
I think I'm more into the hand cannon myself.
I want the first one, the redactor.
Yeah.
The redactor?
Reductor.
Reductor. Yeah, that one.
Nickname it the redactor?
Yep.
Redacted in the name of Sigmar?
The name is
Sigmar.
Steve. Jeez, get it right.
I'm sure Steve is a loyal follower of Sigmar.
I mean, Sigmar is not even a thing in the 41st Millennium.
Really? I have the wrong fucking time period. Pardon me.
They used to be in the same universe, but then they changed it. So,
Who's the leader of the Marines in this one?
well, Gulliman leads the Marines, and the Emperor leads Gulliman, so I'm just going to stand up for a quick moment and burn out my glue. If I could find the letter.
Already?
I've lost everything, lads. Here it is.
Gotta love that wireless headset, huh?
Yeah.
It's true. So when you're modeling, occasionally you do have to take a moment and light your glue on fire.
Light your glue on fire.
It's
Good way
not
to
for
put
your
that.
personal pleasure. So I'm taking my tweezers, going into a safe room, lighting up, and burning this fucker.
Once again, for those on my channel, this is a limited edition presentation of Dr. Schneider's stream featuring some limited edition model making. Feel free to check out his channel for more of this content if you're enjoying it, and toss him a follow.
Yes, so the Primaris Apothecary is not limited, but it is special. This is a Christmas present from me to Citadel.
The one previous was special though, and I can always go back and watch the video for it.
I think my apothecary is pretty special.
Oh, it is. We're not
It
saying
shall
it's
be
not.
added to my Steve Marines.
I mean, it's the only Ultramarine that isn't blue.
Yeah. This saddens Steve, but
He will be fine, I promise.
as long as the apothecary doesn't go after his celery, I'm sure all is well.
Alright. Now
Or his
that
stolen.
brief tribute to chaos has been done.
Gotta do your brief tribute to chaos, or else your models won't turn out well, kids. Don't light your house on fire.
Really don't. It's bad for the biz.
And it's expensive to fix.
Let's grab parts 1 and 2.
And
That
if
will
you're
be
if you're modeling Warhammer, you don't have the money to fix your house from fire damage.
Right.
Macaroni and cheese. You want this piece and this piece. Okay, so the arms actually have little stubs to help guide the angle. Be very careful that you don't accidentally cut those off when you're releasing it from the screw.
Thought you might have problems, kids.
This is cut off flat. There's part number 1.
Sliced it clean off, he did.
here comes part number 2. Got a nice little butt skull here.
God damn it, laptop.
Let's clean up the butt skull real quick.
My apologies for the noise. My laptop was being a total pillock.
See if we'll focus on the butt skull. There we are. Butt skull. There's a slight delay for me, so my video and my audio don't necessarily sync up because of the visual delay. I'm making sure it's focusing.
It's doing well enough. I mean, because of your stream quality, I would probably up your encoder because you're doing mostly everything camera-wise and you're not running a game. So for stuff like this, I would up your encoder, but aside from that, you're fine.
Yeah, and you know, having a better camera helped too, but for a starter camera, this one's okay.
Well, the one you've got's capable of much more. You're running into issues with blurring from your encoder. That camera's capable of 1080p.
Yeah, we'll fix it sometime off camera. Alright, so let's stick this together. We did a dry fit. The glue flows. Life is good.
The glue must flow.
When the glue don't flow, then you got a problem.
I mean, I guess apparently obscure Dune reference is obscure.
It really is, but also probably
It's
no
totally
one,
a shame.
probably no one watching the stream even knows what Dune is, unfortunately.
That me greatly.
Because we're using plastic glue, I need to hold it a little bit longer than with the super glue, but the bond is so much stronger and doesn't stick to your fingers as much. Even if it does get in your finger, unless your finger is plastic, it'll just come right off. Don't eat it, it is toxic. So many parts.
Yes, please don't.
No one can sue me. I said don't eat it.
No, I know. I'm just more sitting here going, yes, please don't. That's the last thing we need with right now. Kids, don't eat your glue.
Yeah, don't eat glue, guys. It's bad
Don't
for
eat
your
paste.
health. Yeah, don't.
I don't care if it's flavored paste, Gabby. Don't eat it.
Please
Gabby.
make kids also make sure that your fiancés don't eat paste.
Oh, Gabby doesn't, but she just likes to watch the world burn.
Every time she dies in Grand Theft Auto, it's just pasted.
No one dislikes your hobbies. Everyone dislikes you misleading the youth of this generation. I mean, it might be. You don't stream. Nobody watches your streams. You expect us to feel bad for something you don't do.
Apparently.
I'd watch a Sumi stream like fucking crack.
This is where I'd put Asumi streams, if she had me.
Right? This is where I'd put Asumi streams if she had me. I concur.
I put those things on like fucking repeat. Get all my views.
Yeah, people
still play Overwatch.
Nobody watches.
You gotta play, like, Apex now.
I'm not a big fan of Apex.
I want Asumi to play PC Overwatch with me so that I have a friend.
And then
The deal apparently wishes for you to play PC Overwatch.
Because I'm bad at Overwatch and I want a friend.
We have to remember, all of Asumi's skins, all of her stuff, all of her rank, all that's on PS4.
Yeah. That's why I wanted
not,
to play PC with me so that we'd be the same rank.
She could take her skill and leave her rank behind.
I mean, to be fair,
not ranked, and if you're not ranked, then you're no friend of hers.
I mean, Burley makes a good point. You could take all that rank and then go to PC and utterly wreck the kids.
Yeah, and protect me while I learn how to play the game.
You know, fuck mercy.
Are you good, Gabby? I think Gabby's having flashbacks, guys.
Flashbacks
Flashbacks
of
of
nom 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 nom.
aka last Thanksgiving.
No, I'm not.
I did it.
Difference.
I'm almost finished clearing that god-awful tree.
God awful.
Like, God literally forsook that tree and anyone who's ever touched it.
They're so pretty, but they're just... Oh my god, I had to go into creative, fly up, and manually de-tree this tree.
Did you still get the drops? If you're in creative, you don't get the drops.
We have so many drops. You don't need to worry about it, honey.
You're wasting drops, Adil.
You don't have to worry about it, honey.
You're wasting the rubber.
We have more rubber than... You can even ask Bro. We have more rubber than we know what to do with.
We have enough rubber, brother.
I mean, we have several double chests full of rubber right now.
Is that enough rubber, though?
Probably by the time we need rubber, we can grow more.
Okay. I will defer to our man of industry.
It's just that I had to fly up and kill the top of the tree with creative because the axe of the stream was not reaching it.
Yeah, it exceeded the range of the axe of the stream.
And if I didn't kill the canopy, we just keep getting random mobs spawning throughout the day and trying to snipe a Sumi.
Medic! Did we ever tell the story of that game we played on camera?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know y'all played a game on camera.
Okay. We didn't play the game on camera. Well, kind of we did. We were
Our
in chat.
commentary was...
By the way, you both lose.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you make a circle when I wasn't looking?
Well, no, you lost the game. You lose.
Okay.
I don't think Bradley gets the reference.
Oh, he does. He's just not humoring you.
One time I picked up a bone, and I told the person next to me I found this humorous.
Hey, Bradley, I got a bone to pick with you.
Sounds like with pickaxe? That'd be a hell of a bone pick.
Right.
So for
Don't mind
Space
me.
Marines, you just have to stick the leg armor on separately. Somewhat aggravating.
Don't mind me just oiling my 9mm over here.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oil?
Handguns require gun oil.
Bomb? Rope?
Mm.
Lamp oil.
Looks
It's
like he
yours,
doesn't
my
have
friend.
enough.
As long as you have enough rupees.
Doesn't look like he has enough, Jeff.
Ideal's
shame
just
for
listening to my
despair.
background noise. You can't speak properly.
Nah. I can't speak to Jeff.
Also, apparently I never installed the graphics card drivers for my laptop.
You wanker.
I'm taking care of that now. So I went to open up fucking, oh god, what's it called?
Jeff?
Frostpunk, the Fall of Winterhome, and it wouldn't launch.
So, Durf,
What?
if you get a cold, you can get a canker sore, right?
You can. I don't get them.
If you jerk off too much, you know what you get? A wanker
What?
sore.
Wrong season.
It's 3 days past Christmas. F off.
Yeah?
No.
And you know
Once
what?
Christmas leaves, you have to leave until next
When
year.
it's 1 day past Halloween, no one gives a shit, so fuck off.
Fuck
Exactly.
you too.
Even the weather didn't care.
The weather doesn't give a fuck anyways. It hasn't been snowing here.
It literally snowed like a bastard the day after Halloween. So we just had a really tiny piece fly across the universe.
Good luck finding it.
You know, I built the Batmobile.
On Christmas
here.
Eve, it was like 55. I was pissed.
We
No
had fucking
snow.
Silent Hill up in here.
Alright, we'll get that later. It's not a piece that needs to be on right yet.
You're gonna forget where you dropped it, brother.
I can't forget why I dropped it if I never found it in the first place.
For you Canadians, it was 12 Celsius on Christmas.
Yeah, it was t-shirt weather.
It's bullshit. I don't want 12 Celsius on Christmas. I want like -10.
I was at work on Christmas, so I don't know.
You realize 12 Celsius is still pretty cold, right?
That's 55 Fahrenheit. 12 Celsius is like nothing. That's t-shirt and shorts weather.
Like, yes, I agree, but for some people would find that pretty cold.
Fucking t-shirt, shorts, flip-flops, and I'll still need a fan in my room.
Like, I got a can in the store today, and t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops.
Like, you have to remember, the perfect temperature for me is like, what? It's like -10 for you guys. I need 14 Fahrenheit.
I'd be in, like 10 sweaters, even if it was like 100 degrees outside Celsius.
I will have my window open with a fan on and be happy as a clam.
At 100 degrees Celsius?
No, at -10.
If it was 100 degrees Celsius, everybody would be actually melting.
If it were, motherfucker, if it's like, here, hold up. If it's anything above like, I'm trying to get my conversion right. If it's anything above like 22 Celsius, I fucking melt.
Don't come here in the summer then.
Yeah, Canada only has 2 temperatures. Cold as fuck and hot as shit.
Because it was getting up to like, we had some days that were like 40 degrees, right?
Yeah.
It's awful. I'm angry at that black grass.
Alright. So now, I found the piece by simply turning around. Now carefully hold it, and shave it, that's what I want to do in the first place. Shave me. Alright, now I don't actually know how this goes on. It's so small. Okay, it's a magnifier. So it goes on the front. Collar. It goes somewhere on the collar. I'm actually going to save that piece till last so we can get the angle of the head right, because the head is a set piece.
I would like his helmet on though, because I think their faces are gross.
That's fine. It's just, I need to see what direction the head is facing before I put the magnifier on. So, we're looking for the gland, which is arm 11, hand 13. Be very careful
Ooh.
not to snip any part of the gland off, or else
I found a cave.
we will not be able to make any new Space Marines without the prog gland.
Is that like his dick?
It's the part that allows them to be
Have
mutants.
babies? To have babies?
I think it makes them like witchers, where they can't have babies.
Oh, that sucks.
But then you have like an army of space witchers.
Space witchers.
Like if you're part of the Inquisition, you'd be a witch hunter.
No, I've dealt with some witch hunters already, and they suck. Like, they actually suck in this game.
Mooncroofed.
Yeah. I accidentally turned myself into a vampire
I would do it.
in my personal world. I was checking.
I like witchery.
It's pretty neat. But I was checking out things in creative in my personal world. Because it's my personal world, so I can do whatever the fuck I want there. And I was like, oh, what's this do? Drink? And next thing I know, I'm a vampire.
Vampiros
like-
lesbos.
I was like, wow, that sucks. I don't want to be a vampire. Next thing I know, I couldn't go out in the sun and everybody was on my door.
That's how she goes.
It was awful. I hated it.
Everyone was picking on you.
But it was in my goddamn house. I'm like, goddamn, I thought it was safe, so I left my door open, and fuck, next thing I knew, there were 2 witch hunters in my house, and I'm like, get out. Get out of here. Silly witch hunters. I'm a vampire, not a witch.
Silly hunters. Witches don't live here.
Silly hunters, I accidentally drank Lilith's blood, and now I'm a vampire.
I mean, one does not simply drink Lilith's blood by accident.
I want to know what it did, and next thing I knew, I'm a vampire.
You literally drank it on purpose, though. You held the button down.
I didn't think it would turn me into a vampire.
I mean, that's fair, but doesn't change the fact.
I accidentally vampire. Does that make you feel better?
I accidentally wore.
I accidentally wore. Exactly. I accidentally vampired.
Alright. So now we need Arm 14. It's this one. And we need 16, 17, 18, and 19. Which are not part of this. It's neat how they did the pistol, though.
Yeah.
So carefully cutting this out. It's actually a bit of a test. So there's 16. And 18. So we're here. It's a very thin piece of plastic. Be absolutely careful when you cut this out. And the same with its mirrored component. Except it's somehow more asinine to cut out. And this is the first option on this model. The other option is whether you want the head or the helmet. We are definitely taking the helmet to match the rest of the army. And it makes sense, they're in combat, they should leave their helmets on.
Yeah.
Let's clean up the pieces that we've cut off. Nearing completion. Down to this step, for those of you following along. And tidying up where we cut from the sprue. I wish I could do that more on camera, but I really need to brace my arms so I don't slip. To not only cut the model in a place I don't want, I could also cut my body in a place I don't want.
Which is anywhere, because cutting thyself is not a good thing.
No, Sonic says that's no good.
Remember, kids, don't cut yourself. That's bad.
Sonic says is like a great segment though.
It was.
The memes are strong.
Sonic says don't cut yourself. That's bad.
If the knife touches you in a place or in a way that you don't like,
Just say no. Okay, kids, just say no. It's okay to say no.
kids are like, no, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it, that's not good. Ah.
And you know what? It's also okay to be gay.
I need to just go off camera real quick and
Be gay.
fit this. Come,
Oh,
brother,
yep.
be gay with father and I. I don't wish to be gay with you. Your Highness was some good shit.
It was.
Alright. That is a complicated pattern. Especially when half the gun slips out of your hand. This is the unwritten joy of modeling when shit flies everywhere. Definitely a joy, I assure you.
He says through gritted teeth.
Someone has to. Oh, Space Marines. Your tiny pieces and all.
But I love them.
This is another reason I use plastic glue. It takes longer to dry, so we have time to position things. Whereas the super glue, we would already be dead. Schneider. Right. That has begun, playing nicely. Now we want to attach the hand. Press it together nicely. And we do also have a data screen there. So we have to paint quite finely there. I actually bought a new brush. Maybe I will stream painting something later. I get the camera set up a little bit better. I can go back to our main model. Use all to be or not to be with this prognoid gland. It's the light of the hope of the universe. He's a creature of the night. As you can see, the Primaris Marines are actually quite large. Now we can take our scenic base. Carefully cut this out. I like how they just go ahead and say, if you play Space Marines, this is you. Back before they gave them a new codex, it was actually good. And now they're destroying everyone, just like in the lore. It's like, it's good that the story has a hero, but it's supposed to be a war game, so it's also that. There we are. Looking for where the other cut point was. So we'll dry fit this one. Fits like a dream. A few drops of glue. And stand this guy up. Make sure his feet are flat. I'll apply a little pressure. There we go. Next, we'll be doing the backpack. Now this one has quite a few optional parts. Now that I look at it. But I don't think the optional parts actually do anything. Let's check the rules real quick. His rules are, and they shall know no fear, and Narthecium, which is his healing ability, but it does not matter what his healing tools actually are. So let's grab the backpack. It actually has more optional parts than I thought. I'm actually annoyed by how tightly the Space Marine backpacks are in the sprue. So I feel like it always makes the cuts ugly. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, this is all messed up now. I don't like it. a minor detail, in fairness, like who looks at the vents of a jetpack very closely in your average game. There's our backpack. We need a part 22, a part 21. Here's part 22. This part appears to be required. And part 21 is this one. Alright. So the way it fits on to the backpack is facing this way. That goes on like this. Alright, so this slot's important. Be very careful not to damage it. We're taking our cutting marks off. This entire model is very delicate. Like it's plastic, so it's quite durable compared to resin. But this is the second time I've had an arm get a little bit of whiteness on it from being strained. So you do have to be careful with this model when you're putting it together. So even though it's plastic and tougher than resin, it's quite capable of snapping if you're too rough with it. And when you're painting, you also have to keep that in mind, so you don't put too much pressure on the brush. Alright, so this is on. This faces the outside. So it goes like this. It's a matter of spatial manipulation at this point. Remembering what part of the backpack will be facing which direction when it's equipped. So this will sit on the backpack like this and provide light. Well, it won't actually provide light, but it will give the illusion of providing light. And then we can have, do you want a saw and a needle, or a needle and a needle, or either a saw or needle and a drill?
I like the saw and the needle idea.
Alright, so we're going to take our bone saw option for the main arm, part 23. We're going to use part 25, which on the sprue looks more like a taser, which it could be, but it looks like needles in the instructions. This is still drill, and that's still a needle, but we're going for the bone saw. Maybe if we get another apothecary, it'll get the needle and the drill.
Maybe.
We can have up to 3, because of the rule of 3. And we can dress each one differently to tell them apart. And by dress, I mean put different options on. So there's our 2 parts. Very close to being done now. Let's just clean this up. our only goal is to make sure that anywhere there's a bump that there's not supposed to be, we take off. Doesn't matter if it's pretty as long as it's smooth. It's the roughness that shows through the paint. Alright, so there's a hole there, and into that hole, insert this peg. So be very careful cleaning this up. There's probably a lot of people that would write this off if they didn't cut it just perfectly off the sprue. So easy to damage. Alright. I guess the taser is to numb the pain. Just stun them.
I guess it makes sense.
Alright, we're gonna give it a little pinch so the glue can set. If we're happy with the angle, then we'll move on.
Yay.
Looks good to me. So now, I'm just going to apply glue to these two grooves cut in the backpack. And that will let me set these tools that I've assembled. Once again, they're very delicate and easy to bend. So we're going to use our tweezers to help push them into place.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. This backpack is becoming very busy. I can imagine to some degree this becomes a little not fun to paint. Gently set that down so I can apply glue to the back of the Apothecary. And get this backpack in place. There we go. It's looking good to me. Alright, so now we just have to apply the shoulder pads, the helmet, and the magnifiers that we saved from earlier. So for the shoulder pads, on this side, we want part 12. This is this one here. Also there's a nameplate on it so we can name the Apothecary. And then part 15 is just a standard smooth Space Marine shoulder plate. As for the head, you want the helmet, it's part 27. I have to remember the neck has a stem when we clip it off. So we get a few bits to spare. And let's put the head on. Get a little bit of glue down. Head oriented. I get a little bit of glue down here. Get the magnifiers on. Now the reason that I didn't clean up the neck, even though we clipped from there, is because the neck is completely hidden inside the torso. So we don't actually have to mind how clean it looks. Make sure that we have this lined up nicely. Move this further down. There we go. There's a bit of a groove it fits into. If you look very closely in the model, you will see that on that part of his collar, he has a track that this would presumably be motorized and slide back and forth on. We want to get this right in line with his eye, best we can, with our tweezers. Press it in to firm it up. Make sure it's angled. So he's actually looking at the progonoid gland. And that is looking pretty good. This is why I like to do this kind of thing last, because you have to know exactly where these angles are to make it look plausible. Finally, let's quickly tidy up these shoulder pads and apply them. So I don't like how much plastic they put on the flow channel. It's actually quite a bit. And it makes for a very large cut that you have to tidy up. Wonderful. Alright. So in the instructions, it says to apply glue to the inside of the shoulder pads. I like to apply glue to the shoulders and then stick them on. Kind of just keeps me a little bit more honest about whether or not the glue is actually connecting. Use our tweezers to manipulate the angle of the shoulder pad, and it's on. Now all it's left to do is apply it to the base. So in this case, I'm actually going to apply glue to the base. Normally I'd apply it to the model, But in this case, it seems it'll be easier. Stick it on here and give it a little twist to spread it out. And we want the debris on the base, but the head hanging slightly off, and the foot on, with the arm hanging slightly off, as per the picture. And you actually want to pinch the base on both sides. If you just push the model onto the base can sag, and you won't get a solid connection. But by working your way around and pinching both sides, you can ensure you get a strong connection, and that is our Primaris Apothecary.
He looks awesome.
So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed Grombrindal and the Primaris Apothecary. I will catch you all next time, which may
I guess
be
my
tonight
timing
or
was
may not.
flawless.